It's time for Agriculture, presented by TURKANA Farms in Germantown, New York, a small-scale producer of heritage breed livestock and a wide array of vegetables and berries on just over 39 acres. They also produce a full array of garden vegetables, many of them heirloom varieties raised naturally, as well as an assortment of berries, including raspberries, blackberries, gooseberries, black, red, and white currants, mulberries, and elderberries. And now, here's Troy Spindler.
Hey all, Troy again. I always thought my background in ecology would be helpful for farm management. In fact, it's the closest thing I have to a qualification for this job. I'd never done any large animal handling or intensive gardening before, and I certainly haven't managed anything resembling a business. But I devoted a lot of my time to thinking about biological systems. Nutrient cycles, succession, pests and parasites all come to mind when I think about the relationship between agriculture and ecology. While understanding these concepts helps us imagine how we want the farm to look and function in the future, we haven't had too many chances to put this knowledge to the test yet. But that doesn't mean our prior experience has been totally useless. In fact, we're discovering some rather unexpected practical advantages to having backgrounds in ecological research. It's even opening up new ways to earn money off the land with very little input, something we can all appreciate. Some of our best-selling items here at TURKANA Farms have been low-maintenance perennial weeds, as some say, like mint, dill, lamb's quarters, and shiso. Some of these grow so aggressively here we have to beat them back to keep them from shading and muscling out our other crops. Well, I'm pleased to announce that thanks to Victoria's plant identifying genius, we're adding a new one to the list for you all to try. Wild water pepper, also known as Persicaria hydropiper. Wild water pepper is a water-loving plant with a pungent, spicy flavor. Victoria discovered it while she was weed whacking around our pond. Apparently, as she got bombarded with tiny fragments of the plant, her skin started to burn and her eyes teared up, like when you make a really spicy chili. She got a closer look and noticed a very close resemblance to the common plant smartweed, Persicaria hydropiperoides. She recalled from our ecology days a conversation with some coworkers about smartweed and its relatives, which they might have encountered in their plant diversity surveys. Someone must have mentioned the water pepper and its unique flavor, because even though they never saw it in any of their study plots, somewhere deep in Victoria's biblioteca of a mind, she had filed away in a little filing cabinet a single manila folder with only one sheet of paper in it that had written on it, "Spicy plant looks like smartweed." A quick search online confirmed that the plant she was battling by the pond was indeed Persicaria hydropiper. And all of us, plus some friends who came by this week, can confirm that it is indeed a spicy plant. Eating the water pepper leaf on its own is an odd sensation, and it's quite fun to observe a first-timer go through the experience. The flavor builds really slowly in your mouth, so a typical reaction starts out like this. I don't taste anything. Then, oh yeah, it's subtle, isn't it? Followed by, whoa, that's not subtle. Once it hits you, it surprises you because it's spicy like a pepper, but it doesn't have the capsaicin molecule like most peppers do. It hits a different part of the tongue than we're accustomed to. And if you're so tough that the leaf isn't enough for you, you can try the flower buds, which are even sharper. Water pepper is not commonly used in many cuisines, but has been used as a garnish and in sauces in Japan for a long time. Nowadays, they typically use a cultivar with a milder flavor rather than the stronger wild version. There is even a Japanese proverb about the plant's unique intensity. The proverb translates roughly to, "Some insects gladly eat water pepper." It means something akin to each their own, because although nearly all creatures avoid the harshness of the water pepper, some insects still manage to enjoy it. I consider myself as brave as some insects. So I decided to flavor a batch of fresh summer pico de gallo with our own wild water pepper. Or maybe not quite that brave, because I started with a very small quantity and worked my way up to a palatable amount. I have to say, I'm pretty pleased with the result. I used shishito peppers instead of jalapenos because they're not as spicy, and I wanted the water pepper to pick up the slack. Here is my imprecise recipe. 3 to 4 large tomatoes, 2 to 3 handfuls of shishito peppers, 1 onion, 2 giant scallions, all finely chopped, the juice from 2 or 3 limes, salt to taste, and 3-ish handfuls of water pepper leaves, and maybe a few pinches of water pepper flower buds. Not so sure on those quantities, but you guys should experiment with it. It was fresh and tangy, and the water pepper gave it that extra zing I was after. I recommend it for your next summer barbecue, or if you're just enjoying some chips by yourself. And if you decide to get wild and experiment with it in any other side dishes, I'd love to hear the results. It's not often that we get to apply what we've learned as scientists to our regular lives, but it's incredibly satisfying when we do. If we spark a new culinary sensation, I'd say Victoria really knocked it out of the park. I'll be sure to let you know just as soon as my in-depth training in beetle anatomy pays off for the farm in some way. But in the meantime, we should all brush up on our plant ID.
Agriculture is underwritten by TURKANA Farms, LLC, a small-scale producer of heritage-bred livestock and a wide array of vegetables and berries on just over 39 acres in Germantown, New York. More information, 518-537-3815.